Okay, so this is our monitoring system that we've been designing for the last few months. So this has been designed with the idea of monitoring an estuary. So we've got some great visuals, but it's a lot more than that. So obviously this is going to hold data from various different survey rounds. So we've got 2 different survey rounds here. And so then within each different survey round, we've got a load of information about about the place and the area. So we've got the information here, and with all of these, we've got indexes that just help find and understand. We've got a help section, and we've got survey notes that are specific to every survey. So that's that area. Then we move on down to survey areas. And then here we've got each area. We've broken the estuary into 8 sections. So here we've got a bit of information about each area, when it was scanned compared with low tide, etc., etc., etc. And then if we come down to the bottom here, there is survey round comparison, which is really handy because we can compare the first and the second survey to see how close to low tide we were, etc., etc. And so that is a useful tool. Let me go down to the weather section, and honestly, this is great. So this is weather for a month before the scan, and obviously we can change the dates as well. And this, we've got the tide height and survey window, so you can see the red dots down here are our survey markers, and then we've got low tides and high tides here. So we're looking for spring tides because it gives us the biggest margin. It shows us the most sandbars. So they are when there's the biggest difference between high tide and low tide, not this little short distance here. And we've got rainfall and pressure context, we've got wind speed and gust speed, temperature profile, and then a bit on the right hand side, sort of events and things that are important that have happened. So then we've got the volume change. So this is where we start these last 3 menus here. This is where we start to break it down around area through area. So we've got 2 rounds there. So we're sticking with survey round 2 at the moment, but then we've got 8 different areas. So if I scroll through these, obviously the image at the top changes to each area. So this image is based off the real scans of the estuary and it looks like, but it is a contextual image rather than an accurate centimetre level image. So the sandbar volume change, this is a work in progress, and actually we've made some breakthroughs in the last couple of days on this. This will tell us how much sand has moved or lost or we've gained in different areas. So then under there we've got the compare index, and obviously we can change to any other area we want. So then we're comparing this. We've got the aerial view. We can turn on or off the contour map we've got there, and then if we wanted to overlay, then this overlays 2 of the. We'll just turn the contours off. This overlays 2 of the surveys. So this is quite handy because it means you can sort of see where sand has moved or deposits have changed. And then we've got the swipe. So this we can swipe from side to side, and you can really see close to each other what movement has happened and what changes have occurred. So that's really cool. So then got the highlight change section. So this will start to highlight change, but we are working on the area change in the previous section as well. And we've got color elevations as well, which is great. And we can obviously change we've got primary survey and secondary survey. So this, at the moment, we only have 2 surveys in, but when we've got 12, 14 surveys in, we'll then be able to compare any one with any other one, and we can get any of this information and data, which is really handy for showing what is changing and where it's changing and how it's changing. So, and the great thing is about this, we can zoom right in on these images as well. And even when it's zoomed right in, we can still use the tools. So we can zoom right in, we can still see slight movement changes, but yeah, not loads. This was only about 22 days between them, and we can pop it out to full screen if we want as well. So then the final thing is the sections. So this is one of my favorite parts of the whole thing. it's come together really well. And we've got, in each area, we've got 3 section cut throughs. And then we've created this section comparison tool. So then as we run down here, you can see there is a dot that's running across the water. So we cut the water at -3 meters because it gets, photogrammetry doesn't love water, it gets all choppy and weird. But then we've got the height difference change, and it tells you down here in the small box. So as you can see there, there's the second survey, which is the red one, is 85 centimeters higher than the first survey in this area. So there's been quite a lot of change. And then as we run across, obviously there has to be, when it's really close, like 0.1 meters, that's fine, because obviously the drone's pretty high and all that sort of stuff, so there's not really any change in these. And then if we wanted to change to the second section, we can click over here. As you can see, that's pretty much the same all the way through. And the third section, as you can see, things have moved slightly. So this area here has moved slightly. And as we get more of these, we can add more sections in here at the bottom, and then we can compare better, and everything will be good. So this obviously is not just for trees. This is just what we're using at the moment. This could be used for anything that changes this survey, this monitoring system. So yeah, thanks for watching.